We did it. It's always a minor miracle. Oh my God, it's the big one. Like you did a reveal. Hey,
Hey, girlie, can you see me and hear me?
I can. It's a miracle. It's the internet.
It is a miracle.
I love this. Hey, everybody. Welcome to Unicorn Chef. We are doing, what are we doing tonight? Sausages. Ooh, everybody loves sausages. Why not? What kind of sausage are you cooking tonight?
Mine is like kind of like the best sausage I can find in Texas. It doesn't have any nitrates. And it's like
Oh,
organic, but
yeah.
it's like a beef and
Which
pork
kind?
like combination
Oh,
called
I get
Burt.
my kielbasa. What is it
It's
called?
called Burton sausages.
Okay. I get some from a Texas company too that is usually kielbasa and hella good.
Oh,
Um, I don't know
nice.
about nitrates and other fancy things, but I do enjoy. But well,
Yeah, I
welcome
think like
to
a lot of good meat comes out of Texas.
it does. I mean, they have the land, they have the space. That's you. You have land. I don't know. Anyway,
I
well,
don't have land, but yes.
yeah, right. I feel that. I feel that. So I tend to prep some, but I'm not fully done. But what I would love to know as we start to figure this out
Okay.
is a little bit, are you ready to go in the pan? Where are you at in your cooking steps?
Yeah, well, what I did first was I prepped all my ingredients so I can show you guys that
Smart.
here.
Yeah.
My
Walk
island.
us, you want to walk us through the ingredients
So
while I
I have
catch
everything
up?
here.
Okay.
I've got the kale,
Oh,
a
you did
bunch of kale,
nice. I got some in my market
organic,
basket.
already washed, dried, cut, all that.
Yeah.
Some organic cilantro, already
Oh
washed
shit,
and
I
cut.
forgot the cilantro. Nice.
That's right. It's just garnish at the end, so no big deal.
Okay, good. I was like, shit, where does that come in? Because actually, that's stems and the other thing, the leaves and stems, which I fucked up the first time I made this. But
Aw.
sausages,
Yep, this the Burton sausage here. We
nice.
have one red onion that's quartered, so I quartered it. Apparently, we're
I
gonna
al-
use three
yeah,
quarters of it to put in the
I
oven, and
doubled
then we're gonna use
mine.
the other quarter to make the vinaigrette.
Okay,
Then I've got 2 cups of pineapple chunks. I had
okay.
a pineapple here, so I just cut it up.
Hell yeah.
That's here. And then we got, I think it's got like 3 teaspoons of lime zest.
Okay.
Got here.
Is this like the most you measure? Like when you cook, this is like a lot of measuring. I don't measure, so it's a
Yeah, it
little
is. And
harder.
like, I love to cook. So what I do first always is before I make anything, I weigh everything out and just put it in like
Oh, you do mise en place, like
little
proper fucking
cups or
real
whatever.
shit.
Yeah.
Real
So
chef shit. I love
yeah, so
that.
I don't like get stressed out while I'm cooking.
Why do
Got it
I
all
opt
like
into chaos
pre-done
mode no matter
before.
what?
So here's
You're
like I
smart.
think about 3 teaspoons of fresh ginger,
Okay.
which I just shredded.
Nice.
And I think this is 3 tablespoons of
Well,
olive oil.
hell yeah.
I'm like so sick in the olive oil, so I'll show you. I use this olive oil.
Excellent. What
Get
makes
it
it
on
special?
Amazon. It's like the real deal, Holyfield.
Okay. So like not mixed with other types of olives and
Yeah.
has proper like I guess heritage, provenance. That's
Yeah, because like there's this big thing going around right now about how
oh
like
I
there's a lot
know.
of like fake olive oil. Like
Yeah. Well, I just don't
that
like it
one
when
I
it gets
researched
cut.
and it is real.
Awesome. Awesome.
Then I got this right here, which is I think 2 tablespoons of brown sugar,
Hell yeah.
and then I have some allspice,
Well, I didn't have that, so I'm winging it with
and a little bit of
Chinese.
cayenne.
Okay.
Yeah, if
I
you
have
don't have
Chinese.
allspice, I wouldn't say like it's a big deal to a recipe. It's like no big deal not to have it.
Yeah, but I went with Chinese five spice. So it's going to be a little bit more pungent, so maybe use a little less. I'm going to have to see how it spreads out.
Okay.
All right.
And then it calls for some peppers. So have some fresh
Nice.
ground black pepper here. And some kosher salt.
Okay.
And then for the vinaigrette, there's only like 4 ingredients. I think it's 3 tablespoons of the olive oil.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's 1 tablespoon of fresh lime juice.
Hell yeah. I like that
So
you actually
organic
did the
lime
fresh.
juice here.
Nice.
I don't remember what the recipe said, but
It's fine.
a couple teaspoons or tablespoons of of ginger.
Mm-hmm.
And then some the same of like minced garlic.
Excellent.
Get it all out.
Hella garlic.
And my bowl, because we're gonna start with the bowl.
Right. Ooh. Excellent. So while we kind of do our little prep and get things onto it, this is nice because it's a sheet pan dinner. So 1 pan, you're done.
I love that. I thought that was so nice.
Right? It makes cleanup easy. It actually gets, I think, the vegetables at a proper temp because usually you're on a nice aluminum pan. Makes it a little, I don't know. I like really roasted vegetables, so maybe it's a me thing. But
yeah, like so easy, breezy, peasy.
Hell yeah. No, I usually go for pure chaos all the time. That's
you go for what?
Pure chaos all the time. Like I don't do mise en place. I don't do shit. No, I just get my stuff and kind of wing doodle everything. But it turns out, why not? So, tell me, the Chiron, whatever this screen thing is. I'm definitely not a broadcaster, streamer, media person.
I'm not either, girly.
But not that. But one,
I know I'm so nervous.
Why? Don't be nervous. We're having fun. We're just cooking and having fun. I love you. You mentioned you do this with your child, or somebody in your family. Was it your mom or your kid? Or
yeah. Well, I really like to cook, and so I kind of started this thing with my mom, and I was like, "Hey, we could make like a recipe like every week, and then do a FaceTime like every Friday, and we could make a recipe so we have food like for the weekend or whatnot."
Yeah, that's such a nice way to connect.
Yeah, we've been doing that for a while.
Yeah.
But she's on vacation right now, so we haven't done it in like a month. But historically, we do it like once a week, sometimes every other week, but at least a few times a month. And we've both really enjoyed it.
Yeah. Are you going to tell your mom that she's been replaced with the uniform stuff?
I might have to.
Or maybe invite her on. Maybe you can have a special mom episode. That would be sick.
Wouldn't it?
Yeah, for sure. Does your mom, like, I don't mean to generalize, but like generally moms are older and like you do some crazy shit like in terms of your work. So like does she have any concept that you're the MalwareHuntress?
No.
Does she have any idea what that would even mean?
I don't think so, like at all. But she does, like what she does know is that like I have worked like 12, 15, 18-hour days for the last
exactly.
Like 5 years. So she like understands that concept that I work a lot because it is very like labor intensive.
It is. Like it's a really hard field, I'd imagine, to break into. Like I can't like with the tools and stuff. I don't, and maybe that's just misinformation from my lack of experience. I don't know. Like I've always found reversing and malware research insanely interesting, but that is so not my strong suit. Like my brain is like, no, ma'am, just move on.
Yeah, no, I know how that goes. It is very labor intensive, and I think that's one of the reasons why you don't see a lot of people actually, I don't even know, qualified or expert people like in the field because it does take so many hours. Like there's so much to know and there's so many different types of malware analysis. Right. So when I was in school, in my late 30s, by the way.
Yeah, I did the same.
Myself there a little bit.
Yeah.
But I was taking my DF2 class with Dr. Karpour. Let's give him a shout out right now. Hey.
Send us a video after. It's the best.
But like, what?
I said send him the video after. It's the best.
Oh yeah, that'd be great. He'd probably really appreciate that.
Right?
But like the last half of the semester of his class was like reverse engineering Windows malware.
Okay.
So we worked out of the book called Practical Malware Analysis.
Well, I know that one. The No
Ah,
Start
yeah,
book? Is that
yay.
it? It has like an alien or like Cthulhu or some weird shit on the cover.
Yeah. It looks like an alien. He's like,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. So I like actually started doing that like for an exam. And then his whole final for DF2 was, man, I don't even remember. It was so many pages long. It must have been like 4 or 5 like skinny tight pages long. And he gave us like a week to do this final exam. Like this was not just like a joke or like an easy thing. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. That's good.
But when I was doing his class assignments and started learning how to reverse engineer Windows specific malware, I really fell in love with it. It was like one of those things where it was like a puzzle and I was just like doing it, and I'd be doing it for like 12, 15 hours, and it would feel like an hour went by versus like when I'm coding in like Java or C++ or Ada or whatever.
Yeah.
Like 1 hour felt like 10 hours.
Yeah.
So that's how I really knew that like malware analysis was something that not that I just enjoyed, but I actually like kind of, like was good at,
Right? That's incredible. I kudos to you, man. That's like, when people start doing kind of the super niche shit off the rip, on whether it's I don't know if this was a pivot for you into this and that's why you went back to school, or if you had other technical experience that you applied. So I don't want to assume, but like you're doing really niche shit that's not easy to just pick up. Like there's a lot you can do for yourself to learn on your own, independent of school. But like until you understand that there's tools and things around the area of research, and then I think it's brilliant. I think it's crazy. I cannot, my brain is like, ma'am, don't even get any ideas. We're not doing this tonight.
That's awesome. Thank you so much. You're making me blush. I like literally, I guess kind of my backstory is that most of my adult life, I was in accounting. So I worked for a law firm, and then I worked for an independent where I did the books for a few companies. I did some bookkeeping and some clerical accounting. And I did that for, I think it was almost about 15 years, and I just got bored.
Yeah.
It was like, you could just do everything monotonous where you don't need to think anymore. And everything's just like I felt like I was just a data entry person, and it just wasn't fulfilling. So I went back to school in my late 30s for computer science. And then you have to pick like a...
Holy cow.
Huh?
I said, holy cow, that's crazy.
I know,
was just like a boot camp or a mini experience?
And honestly, I was like, I was so naive. I was like, let me go learn everything I can about computer science. And then I didn't realize it was like 8 upper level math courses. And like, that was hard. Like, it was not an easy road. It was very difficult. But it took me 5 years to get the 4-year degree. But in Dr. Kapoor's course, DF2, Digital Forensics 2, with all the malware, reverse engineering, I loved it. And then I just kind of kept up with it. And so I like read that book, like even after we did it in class, I like read the book, like I think like 2 more times, like start to finish, and like did all the labs because there's like a ton of labs in there.
Right.
So kind of branched off to like other books like Malware Analysis Cookbook, Virus Research and Defense, like malware, malicious code, like everything that I could find about malware. I just kind of started doing, and then like trying to learn, right? Reading, doing labs, yada yada on my own. And then after I graduated, it took me about 5 months, but my first and only job in InfoSec, I got a job working for a cybersecurity company that was a startup that they did a web-based malware remediation. So it's a lot different. So you don't use the same tools and the same like thinking cap and logic and analysis that you use for Windows-based malware. Now it's web. So it's like completely different. So
I've been.
I did that for almost 4 years, and
okay.
now the company downsized, and I'm waiting my next opportunity. So that's where we are.
Fair play. Well, I think you're part of a pretty small group of humans, so I hope that course changes for you soon. But that's crazy. That's really impressive. Yeah, no doubt.
I have a love for it because I feel like it hits so many different areas of people's day-to-day life, and I love just protecting people and computer systems from harm, So I think that's the main thing that I really like about malware analysis, like the most.
I love that so much. And I love that you touched on the humanity, right? And protecting people. And I think it's a surprisingly popular answer in our field. And it doesn't really seem to matter what flavor you're opting into, but honestly, protecting people is often, if not always, why people in our industry show up. And that's so compelling, considering like we might wear fursuits, we might have multicolor hair and not learn how to talk without cursing, but we're the ones that show up. So I love that. Yay! I get all mushy. But me.
Thank you.
All good. So I've got to read through my steps. Okay, I think I'm getting close.
All right. Yeah, you want to get started on the first part of the recipe so we can put it in the oven?
Hell yeah. That's what I'm doing.
All right, girlfriend. Grab yourself a bowl. I got a bowl.
Okay. I got a bowl full of stuff. I've been talking.
In this bowl, we're going to put our pineapple.
Nice.
Put that in there.
I will tell you.
2 cups, but
me too. And it actually works really well. So don't put the kale in first. Here's the only thing is we're gonna, especially at this temperature. So when I was developing this episode, I talked to Jessica and I was like, oh shit, apparently I added kale. So the original recipe did not call for kale. And if you put kale into the oven with all the other stuff that needs the time, it will just turn into a black,
just burn up.
Yeah. So
I loved your take on it though, because it's nice to have a green vegetable in something, right?
That, and I have the local farm. So like I live in Georgia and the local farms, like I get a Georgia grown basket, and apparently we grow a metric shit ton of kale because there's usually 3 or 4 types in my basket. So I've got a lot of
love that
all the time. But with that, I'm like, where can I put this? So I would add it.
So great. Yeah, like at the end, like maybe the last 5 or 10 minutes.
Yeah, I like mine a little crispy, but if you want it, not so, it can just wilt. It doesn't really need cooking per se, but I like the one tip I'll give you for sure. We're going to at some point put oil, like olive oil, a squirt, and then salt on our hands, and we're going to massage the shit out of this kale so that it removes that weird, not like it's waxy, bittery, like I don't know what the fuck it is, but it's weird as shit. But if you ever want good kale salad, that is what differentiates good kale salad from bad kale salad.
Oh, that's so great to know. You're gonna be my best girl for that.
You get a massage.
Love it. Everybody loves a good massage, right?
Right. All right.
All right. So I got my pineapple in here. Now I'm gonna go to the brown sugar. Here we have 2 tablespoons.
Okay.
Brown sugar. Just gonna pour that in the bowl over the pineapple.
Hell yeah.
And then next we're gonna go to the 2 tablespoons of olive oil. So I got that here. So we're just gonna, here's my bowl. So we're just gonna pour it on.
Nice.
Got it right here. And then the next ingredient we're going to have, let's see, is the 4 tablespoons of freshly grated ginger. So we have that here.
I love this. I'm cheating off of your instruction because now I'm like rattling through the recipe in my head. Like, what's in here? The onions go here.
It's so easy. You picked a great recipe.
Right? Yeah.
And then now we're going to go to our 4 tablespoons of lime zest. I think I have like a little bit less than that.
Yeah. That's a lot of lime zest, dude.
Yeah, it really is.
It's like
I think
3
I just about like 2 tablespoons because I started to get tired.
Yeah.
Zesting it. But
I feel that.
That's all right. All right. So then the next thing, let's see. Oh, is the red onion. So you take 1 red onion and you quarter it. So we're going to use 3/4 right now. So we're going to save back 1/4 to use for the vinaigrette.
Okay.
So we got that in there. And then let's see. So we have that, the onion.
Did you?
And then we're going to stir that around. What?
Awesome. I was going to ask you, are you the type of human that comes home after a long ass day, or maybe works at home after a long ass day and cooks every day?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I do. So what I do is I really love to cook, and like with all of the toxins and bad things that are in food today that we can just buy, I've really resorted to like homemaking almost everything.
For sure.
So I homemake my own bread. I mean, literally everything that I can. I'm just learning to do the pasta. Like I'm not like as well equipped with that yet, but I have all the different like pasta things, and some kind of like experimenting with that right now. But yeah, I do. I like also I prep. So like on Saturday, not so much Sunday because I like to relax, but Saturday is like my big day where I do all my juicing. So I make like 5 different huge like green and orange juices for the week. And then I'll make like 3 different meals that I'm going to eat throughout the week. So I kind of do that meal prep like on Saturday for the rest of the week. So that really helps as well. And then I also like some stuff like because I'm get kind of weird about like meat and stuff. So if I'm making some of the meat, like even though I'm making it on Saturday, well, if I'm going to eat it on Thursday, I'll just freeze portions. And I have these little portion cups that I buy that are like non-BPA, like
do the same thing.
Yeah, and I freeze them. And then I just heat stuff up in the oven because I'm not doing microwave anymore.
I don't even do it for water. It's just there.
So I do oven, and it just most of the time the meal's already made before the oven even comes up to temperature. So it like works out really great.
That's awesome.
So I learned that. So
I mean, and I'm sure it's way healthier and tastier just in general. And that's honestly that was one of the core reasons why this stream started. So for anybody new around here, including maybe you, Bryson started this back during the pandemic as a way to connect with humans, and then also just kind of demystify cooking and make it an opportunity where you can cook at home. And we were all cooking at home, right? We were all on our bread making adventures in 2020. And it just turned into a successful way to hang out with friends, do something for the public good, and cook. So when I say public good, we are always trying to promote a charity. Today's charity is the Diana Initiative, and
yes, I love it.
Specifically the scholarship program, because it's such a tremendous value. The organizer and staff ensure the funding actually reaches the recipient, and they give them strategies around how to maximize it, as well as give them a kind of a tribe to show up to. The scholarship gives them a pass to DEF CON Black Hat and Diana. So Hacker Summer Camp, which is every August. And with that, what was I saying? My dog started barking, so my brain is like, nope. Scholarship, they get to go to 3 cons. They get a scholarship of like $1,000.
So
they
amazing.
Bunk up, split the hotel, your money goes further, and you have friends. And then hopefully you do that and do it again in the future for somebody that helped, come back and support someone else.
Yeah, no, I love that so much, because honestly, it's so hard to break into cybersecurity even after you've gotten your degree. It's really not even what you know. It's really who you know, and like networking and put yourself out there. And if you don't do those things, it can be a much longer and more difficult road. So that's one thing I do like about information security too, is just connecting with people and, doing all these different things to be successful.
Well, and you hit it exactly right, where connecting with people is the secret sauce of InfoSec. And it's because we depend on people, and we need to share information and be with people who can not only understand it, but maybe offer their insights and their perspectives. And frankly,
learning and growing from other people.
Smart. Yeah, exactly. So, Yeah, no, I love that. I'm gonna dump my sausages on the pan.
Okay, yeah, I have everything mixed. Just mixed everything in the bowl that we just talked about. And then what I'm going to do now is I have a sheet pan here with a little bit of parchment paper. And I'm going to just dump it on there. It's okay. Like, we don't have to be perfect about this. And we're just going to kind of spread it around. And then once you get like a really nice, like good layer, try to.
I know, be careful. I've had water in my laptop already. So there's that.
I know I have my laptop on this whole like thing over here. So, all right. Nice. I'm trying my best. All right.
Well,
so here's our mixture that we just spoke about. Just kind of spread it out on the pan. And then the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to take a sausage.
Sausage. Like that. You said it funny and I enjoyed it.
I already cut up, like pre-cut. So I like cut it down the center. And then I just kind of like halved it.
Yeah.
I really kind of quartered it a little bit.
That's what you did.
But yeah. So the recipe says now to kind of stick the sausage like in between, you know.
Yeah, nestle is, I believe, the
fruit and vegetables.
Shove them bitches in. That's my answer. Terribly classy.
Just gonna put it all out there and just kind of arrange it.
Oh, I went rogue.
And that's one thing I like about cooking is it's so much different from my job as a malware analysis, because in malware analysis you have to be like perfect and like on target every time. Like you can never make a mistake. You always have to be right, which is an interesting thing about it. So it's a lot of stress and pressure that comes with that. But I love it. But with cooking, you know, it's okay. So like if you only have half a pound of sausage, or you don't have as much spice, or you know, like that's all okay. Like we can just relax and just put it out there. It's still gonna be great.
Yeah. What's the worst that can happen? You cook something else, right? Like it's not rocket science. But
it might not be as flavorful as you want or whatever, but really with cooking, I feel like it's really hard to like mess up, you know?
Right, for sure. But I'm curious, you mentioned like cooking and how it's so very different from malware analysis. But I was wondering, are you the type of person, and maybe this is just, I don't know if it's a me thing or a general thing, but like when I'm cooking, I'm almost always not thinking about cooking. I'm thinking about, I'm either going kind of meditative, or my brain, when it relaxes, it tends to solve puzzles, which I think is not unique to me. I think that's just in general. But do you think your brain kind of meditates or gets into some sort of flow state while you're cooking so that you go back to the analysis and end up finding, you know, more malwares, or figuring out how they work? I don't know.
Yes, 100%, 100%.
Fuck yeah.
But when I'm cooking, I'm not thinking about anything else. I'm actually just thinking about like what I'm doing in the moment, like the cooking and the measurements and like trying to make it the best. Like my mind really doesn't float anywhere else, but it does go to that like peaceful state, which is really, really nice, because with my last job, I had to make like a decision almost every second of the day and had that stress of like, you always have to be right.
Right.
You know, whereas like with cooking, it's like, hey, it can go either way. So that's fine too.
Nice.
But then you're getting some food for your soul, and it's just kind of, it's like a mindless, to me, cooking is like a mindless activity. Right.
Autopilot,
so it doesn't like take a lot of brain power to like cook, right?
Because you've learned it. That's the caveat. Like I would agree. Me personally, I agree. But for a lot of people, it's still pretty daunting. So I think the point might be, the more you do something, you're practicing, this could be a way to actually relax. It might stress you out to think about doing it, but as you learn to cook, you get better, and it is actually really fucking relaxing. So that's all.
Like what I say is like, the reason why I think that cooking is so relaxing is because all you have to do is read. So a lot of people don't have confidence that they can cook because they don't cook very often. So it can seem really daunting, right? But I think there's a few things that everybody can do to make a meal be less stressful, which is read the recipe a couple times before you start.
Correct.
Number two, get everything all measured out. And then after that, it's just reading. You literally just read it step by step. Like it's foolproof. You can't make a mistake with cooking.
Right.
You can follow along and read, like you're not making any analytical decisions on your own. Everything's all laid out for you. That's what I like about it.
I like that. That's right. I don't tend to follow recipes in general, but like I get tired of eating the same shit. So that's the reading. And then sometimes I like this recipe, I would have sworn there was kale in it. Clearly I don't actually read the recipes. I'm like, oh, that's kind of
I wanted to add that. I was like, oh, that sounds good.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm gonna show you guys my pan. So you just kind of want to spread it out a little bit. So here's my pan, what it looks like. Got our sausage, our pineapple, our onions, all the goodies on here. And we're just gonna put it in the oven. I think for, what did it say, Starr, like 30 minutes?
Yeah, the time is 30 minutes, but around 20, we're gonna pop it out and put our kale in.
Okay, perfect. All right, let me know when you're ready to put yours in, and I'll put mine in at the same time.
Put yours in.
No, I'll put it in with you.
Hey, no, I'm an asshole and I'm hungry.
What?
I said I'm an asshole and I'm hungry. So
You are not. What are you doing over there? Don't you have you got everything in the bowl?
I've lost the cilantro. Shit happens.
Well, that's okay. So, that's for the very end. We don't need that till later.
Yeah. Plus, I already have some. So the weird thing about local things, oh God, the goofy things about local vegetables is they actually taste like vegetables.
Right? Oh, yeah. We have farmers market. I love here so much. Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. So usually what we end up doing is we talk a bit, we cook a bit, and then we fuck off a bit and we go and eat while it cooks because, I don't have any magical pans to swap and be like, now it's ready. And, I'm not going to sit here and talk.
Yeah, this is authentic. This is live.
Yeah. Put your
all right, is yours ready to go in the oven?
Yes. And then we're going to yes, please put it in. You can put it in the oven.
All right.
And then we'll make some vinaigrette and probably be
done.
Yeah. Yes. Perfect. The fastest 30 minutes ever.
I love it. Like it's so quick and easy.
Yeah, for sure.
Trust me, the recipes that I pick are never quick and easy. So I love this one.
Excellent. You'll have to do one of the others sometime. I would love to actually tuck into a more complicated recipe.
Oh, shoot.
And
I'm here for like 2 hours.
Put your thing in the oven. You're going to be starving.
Yeah. So that's another thing too, is like with the whole food prepping and everything, like humans are so like when they want to eat now, which is why we make a lot of bad food choices. Like when we're super hungry.
For sure.
So, but I have like this freezing method where I like freeze portions of stuff. So I can have like enchiladas with like beans and rice that I made like 3 weeks ago. And I just put it in a casserole pan. I put it in the oven, put it on 350. Yeah. And before, like I said, the oven's even come up to temp, the food's already ready and done in like 10 minutes. So like,
there you go.
Yeah. So that's kind of like my food hack to like eating really well is freezing my stuff and knowing how to reheat it quickly, obviously without the microwave.
Right. Yeah. Or just living with the longer time because not everything has to be right now. And if you know that it's like cooked well and it's from your thing and it'll that in the air fryer, that thing has saved it reheats enchiladas amazingly well.
Oh yeah.
Because
like
they don't
literally everything I've ever frozen has done really well, except I froze an entire like wedge of Parmesan cheese. And when I became deep thawed, like it was really like crumbly, so it didn't shred well. Yeah. So to combat that, if you want to freeze Parmesan cheese, just shred it first.
Yeah.
And then put it in the container and then freeze it, and then it'll be fine. But literally everything else I've ever frozen, like from cheddar cheese to chicken and dumplings or meatloaf or tacos, carne asada, everything. It turns out just as good as the day that you made it, literally.
Right. 100%.
I think people are missing. I always want to open up a frozen food company, girl. Seriously,
right?
that's like
yeah. No, you have to just find a metro
because
what
it was really funny
the
because
hospitality people.
Huh?
I feed hospitality people. So
see, I love that because that was like the first industry that I ever went into when I was younger, like 14 years old. My first job was in a restaurant. So I have that like kind of that thing in my soul where I like love to like feed people and you know make them feel content and just serve people. Like I love that.
Yeah, me too. I'm here for it. Well, it's been an absolute pleasure. I'm doing the mason thing and I've got my ingredients. This is the vinaigrette, so I always shake it.
Oh yeah, I gotta do that next.
Yeah, but that's the last piece of the recipe.
Switch it over here.
Show us. Yeah, I just got attached to my drawer.
Can I show you my island? Hold on.
Oh wow, it moves. That's
all the stuff on the island.
That's smart, actually, though. The movable part.
You're so cute.
All right. I'm gonna
the vinaigrette. Here's the lime.
I will be right back.
Okay. I'll just okay, so this is like a couple tablespoons of lime juice here. I'm just gonna pour it in here. We're gonna make the vinaigrette. I think it's like 2 or 3 tablespoons of olive oil. Not a big deal if it's 2 or 3. That fresh ginger, a couple tablespoons. A couple tablespoons of this minced garlic. Some allspice. A little bit of cayenne. I'm just going to put a little bit because I'm not too keen on the spice. All right. And then some red onion. I'm just going to muddle out our vinaigrette. And we're just going to stir it around. All right. Here we go. Not too fancy. Going to get the juice after the mixture comes out of the oven. We're going to drizzle this on top. And actually, whenever it's done in the oven and we put the kale in, I'll probably drizzle it on top at the same time as the kale goes in. But you can do it however you want. And that's the great thing about cooking is that you can modify any recipe. So sometimes whenever I want to make something, I will look at like 2, 3, 4 different recipes and I'll take all of those and I'll combine it and pick out what I like the most out of each one.
I do the same
thing.
That's
how I hack it.
Heck yeah.
Yeah, that's how I made my Mexican shredded chicken yesterday. And my daughter was like, oh my God, this is so good. Where's the recipe? I'm like, literally 3 different recipes in one.
Right.
But it's up here. So.
Exactly. God, I had to transcribe the very first the recipe we did for the first episode. And I realized like midway, I was like, this shit is not written down right. So I modified it. It's fixed now. But I was like, this is a wild attempt at writing down what you do, from recall.
Yeah.
I do this.
Oh, I like that. Yours is like really thick. Mine's like
it's
I don't
the jar.
think I put enough olive oil in. Mine's not very like.
I went for a solid 3, but I also
I guess it wasn't around.
I don't know what it is with recipe writers, or maybe it's my taste. I'm not sure, but I also diced my onion like small. Minced,
oh yeah,
like smaller.
Yeah, that would make sense for this one for the vinaigrette, but they didn't.
And then
say
but it'll make it creamier. It's almost like the French dressing with the shallots and the lemon.
Yes. Let me improve this vinaigrette. Let me just chop these up real quick.
Freestyle it.
Love it. Really love it.
It's fun.
It is.
What are you going to do with the chicken? Make tacos or something else?
I already made, just tacos.
Do you make enchilada sauce? Because that has been like a serious game changer for me.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
I do.
Do you have a solid green sauce? Because I'm not, or a mole? Because I would love to
You have
learn
a
mole.
what? A solid what sauce?
Either a verde sauce or a mole sauce.
Oh yeah, actually I have both. I make a lot of
Nice.
Mexican food, so I make like homemade everything. I mean,
Nice.
carnitas,
Mhm.
enchiladas, refried beans, rice, queso.
I-
Like I've been perfecting my queso for like over 10 years. I have like three
right.
different kinds. Yeah, like
Oh, wow.
we get serious about our Mexican food here in Texas.
I know, and it's honestly because it's Tex-Mex, but it's also still sometimes very just honest Mexican, and
Oh
that's
yeah.
my favorite cuisine. I could eat Mexican literally every day and be
Basically,
quite happy.
basically to me, like Tex-Mex includes like and I don't know if this is like factual, but it's just in my mind.
Right.
When people
Well, you're
think
close to me.
Tex-Mex, to me that includes like sour cream and like yellow,
Like that red rice that's
cheddar
not really
cheese
flavored.
or Colby
Right.
Jack. Whereas, like, if
Hmm.
you're cooking authentic Mexican, you're
Right.
using creme de fraiche. You're using I don't know how to pronounce it, but it's like Chicota cheese or Chihuahua. You're using like the white, you know, but they don't, that type of cuisine doesn't really use like a lot of the like cheese and like kind of rich, like American stuff that we do. It's more like, I feel like fresh, like the pico de gallo, the black beans, the avocado, not a lot of the creamy stuff that we have as Americans that we like.
Ah,
The one thing that I haven't made Mexican that I want to make because my grandmother made them like amazing is tamales. So that's kind of
I
like my
got you on
next
tamales.
thing. Yeah, I want to make those.
It is so time consuming, like
Oh yeah, that's
beyond
no
time
joke. Like that's
consuming.
probably like half a day at least worth of work. Maybe
Yeah.
more, maybe a whole day.
My favorite is my secret ingredient is the lard that I get from the Mexican grocery store that comes
Oh,
in
the
a
lard?
soup. Yeah, but it comes unlabeled in a soup container. And I'm like, we're not even going to talk about this. We're just going to enjoy it because I can't think too hard or else I won't eat it.
I'd be
But
honest with you though, like what you're getting the lard at the Mexican, market is going to
yeah,
be better than anything you're going to get at Kroger. You know what I mean? Like
100%. Anything with a brand name on
label
the
or no
outside for
label,
sure.
you know that it's like coming from a good source. I'm sorry, but that's just
It's
the way
like
it is.
it's like this magical jar of moonshine that I keep in my cupboard that's bacon fat,
Oh,
like
hey girl.
eh,
I
fuck
have
it.
one too. Hold on,
Do
wait.
you?
Mine doesn't look as cute as yours, but here we go.
Yeah, but I love that yours is in the cupboard because the last time I did this on stream, I think Bryson blanched and was like, "You got to put that in the fridge." I'm like, Dolly Parton, don't put it in the fridge.
No,
I'm
I
like, "Oh, what do you
swear,
mean?"
yeah, it just goes in the regular cupboard. Yeah.
100%. And that doesn't smell. Whereas I just bought beef tallow and that shit stinks so bad. I can't use it.
Girl, I just got some beef tallow like face moisturizer from TikTok. I haven't tried it yet, but I'm like,
Oh,
it's so
stick with the
awesome. I have
snails.
to try it.
Oh my God, that's crazy. That's
I'll let you know
absolutely
how
nuts.
that goes in a couple days. It just came in
I'm
today.
scared. Okay. Let me know. Let me know if it smells. That's really the
See, you know what?
question.
I'm actually good at like I'm a big like apple cider vinegar person.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you're sick, like do all these things
Mm-hmm.
with apple cider vinegar. But a lot of people can't do it because they're like, ooh, it tastes bad or it smells bad. And I'm just like, no
Get
matter
over
what it
it.
is, like I can do it like a trooper. Like no
Yeah.
problem. Like I just
I love that.
if
That's
it's gonna
wonderful.
benefit me, like I'll drink it
Right.
like it's a shot.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like it's a lemon drop. I'll be like, oh, the apple
Pretty
cider
much.
vinegar. Like,
Right. Do you come out to DEF CON?
you know what? I've always wanted to go, and I said I was going to go in 2025, but with the whole job situation right now,
Yeah. It's
I'm
hard.
going to try to make it happen. I would love it if this is my year because 25 is one of my favorite numbers of all time.
Is it? That's
Um,
awesome.
but I have done like during the pandemic and everything. I was like it was like my last year of school in 2020, and so I
Right.
did like the virtual,
Uh-huh.
the virtual aspect of it. So I did like a lot of the labs and stuff like in the villages and, you know, a lot of the playbacks and stuff like that because it was actually free to go. You don't have to pay money at that time. And so it was like the RSA conference and like a bunch of other ones. So I did like a ton of conferences that year. But
oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, no, it's my dream, honestly, to go to DEF CON or Black Hat. Unfortunately,
look for groups looking for volunteers.
Huh?
Like not Black Hat's nonsense, in my personal opinion. It's salespeople doing what they're there for, and that's just like I get overwhelmed instantly. I went there last year for a vendor event, and I was like, I don't know what I'm doing. It was just so much. But DEF CON is home. DEF CON is family, and there's always villages or groups looking for volunteers that usually have access to a badge that they'll give their volunteers or should give their volunteers. I moved away from what I was doing at DEF CON village wise, and I'm now standing up in OWASP community room with John. So
I know our best buddy.
Yeah, always the best. I can't wait to have him on here because he hates cooking. He's like not. Does he? He cooks outside on a grill, and that's like the limit. But that's okay.
Yeah, well, that's good. I know a lot of people that are like that. Hey, that's the first step. If you can grill, you know, like you're eating good.
Right? 100%.
You're always eating good.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, but I definitely want to go to DEF CON. It is my dream. If not this year, hopefully for next year for sure. And I do know a lot of people in the community and in some of the villages. And so, you know, it would just be amazing to meet a lot of the people that I know from Twitter /X, like in person, which is so amazing.
It's so crazy. Like getting recognized from Twitter, that happened to me for the first time last year. And I was like, this is fucking strange. I don't know that I'm ready for it. And then actually what was stranger there were lurkers. So another group.
Lurkers?
Yeah. Well, so Lonely Hackers Club, near and dear to my heart. It's what allowed me to feel comfortable to go to DEF CON alone. As a new attendee, like I had no fucking clue, and I was like a little lost deer, like whoa.
You're like a deer in the headlights. Yeah,
girl, I was crying. I could not find where to go to get a badge. It made sense once I figured it out. I was like, oh, I didn't understand Vegas. I didn't understand how
Vegas, I'm going to tell you right now, it's hot as heck, especially during that time. There's a lot of walking, so you really have to know like where you're going and what you're doing before you even leave your hotel room, or it can be like super like overwhelming.
I get lost in a paper bag and I'm by myself and I'm really stressed because I can't figure it out. So in the end, I found some random goons sitting under like some goons in a hallway, and I was like, I don't want to have to ask for help, but I need help and I need to go get a badge. They're like, go see the goons under the stairs, and I'm like, well, what does that mean? And I just toddle off. So
you're like, under the stairs, is that even safe?
Right. And they were definitely actually under the stairs. However, no context, no clue. So Lonely Hackers Club was designed to be a first-time attendees kind of Sherpa, or a way to understand and not feel so alone, except none of us leave. So there's like 2,500 of us now. And we'll also have a community room at DEF CON. And it's a wonderful, amazing crew that I've traveled the world with and seen conferences and concerts and just hanging out and having a support network. Somebody is online 365 days a year. So it's the best. So I highly recommend checking out Lonely Hackers Club. It's an active group on Telegram. And find your way to DEF CON. You won't be alone.
Thank you. Yeah, I'll definitely check that out. Appreciate it.
Well, I'm going to pop my kale in and then we'll post pictures. See you on Twitter. Does that work for you?
Yeah, take it out and put the kale in now.
Yep. And then leave it in for 10 minutes and then we'll take a picture and share with everybody at home.
All right, you got it.
Okay. Well, it's been a pleasure. Have a good night.
Same. Thank you so much. You too.
Yeah. Bye.
Bye.